Tteokbokki is a beloved Korean dish not only among Koreans but also among many others. In particular, tteokbokki has transcended being a simple food and has become a part of the culture for the MZ generation. Koreans come together as a community and relieve stress by enjoying tteokbokki, a spicy and flavorful dish. One notable characteristic of Korean cuisine is its spiciness, which makes Koreans proud of their ability to handle spicy food. The term, Capsaicinophile, is used to describe those who boast about eating spicy food and compete to see who can handle it better. Tteokbokki serves as the criterion for this Capsaicinophile culture. One of the favorite tteokbokki brands among Koreans is Yupdduk, which plays a central role in this culture. It is important to consider how spicy Yupdduk is for Koreans. People who can only handle level 1 of Yupdduk are referred to as maebjjirri, indicating that they are not accustomed to spicy food. In the past, spicy tteokbokki was considered authentic, but it has evolved over time and is no longer exclusively for the ordinary people. Tteokbokki used to be a luxury dish enjoyed by kings, and it had a very healthy taste rather than being spicy or strong tasting. The influence of the United States played a role in transforming tteokbokki into a spicy and affordable food. So, why did tteokbokki become a spicy dish? Exploring the history of tteokbokki can help us understand this. While it is difficult to determine the exact origins of tteokbokki, we can roughly estimate that it emerged in the 17th century. There are records of tteokbokki being enjoyed by King Yongjo of the Joseon dynasty's mother, Suk Bin Choi, in the diaries of the Royal Secretariat. Obyang, referred to a dish made by stir-frying beef and vegetables and mixing them with sliced white rice cakes and various seasonings and garnishes. References to tteokbokki can also be found in various cookbooks. Detailed recipes for tteokbokki are recorded in Jukseui, a compilation of late Joseon dynasty cuisine. The instructions include cutting the white rice cakes into pieces that are about 5% of their original length, heating a pot or tteoknogu, adding a generous amount of oil, and stir-frying thinly sliced beef. Pine mushrooms and bellflower roots are sliced flatly, and the stone is shredded. Eggs are fried and sieved, bean sprouts are mixed with milk, and all the ingredients are combined and seasoned with salt to prevent them from becoming tough. Ginger, green onions, pepper, and pine nuts are added, seaweed is roasted and crushed, and zucchini, cucumbers, and various seasonings are included. Based on this record, the old tteokbokki was not a spicy dish. This particular type of tteokbokki is known as royal stir-fried tteokbokki. The main sauce used in royal stir-fried tteokbokki is soy sauce, not gochujang red pepper paste. Therefore, it is not spicy at all and has a clean taste. When examining different references, the recipe for tteokbokki remains similar. The ingredients used include not only rice cakes but also beef, balloon flour, mushrooms, mung bean sprouts, abalone, and sea cucumber. It is important to note that all these records were royal recipes, indicating that tteokbokki was a food enjoyed by the king or the yangban class, rather than ordinary people. This continued until the 1930s. Tteokbokki is also mentioned in the lyrics of the popular Oppa as a street singer.
난 몰라이 내 반찬 다 뺏어 먹는 건 난 몰라이 불고기 떡볶이는 혼자만 먹어 어이 집 콩나물면 나한테 주고.
Based on these lyrics, we can infer that only men, specifically Oppa, were allowed to eat tteokbokki. Considering the patriarchal system in Korea, tteokbokki was an exclusive food for the upper class. So when did tteokbokki become spicy and affordable? We can trace it back to the 1950s. In 1953, Grandma Ma Bok Rim went to a Chinese restaurant for dinner. Instead of ordering expensive jjajangmyeon, she decided to eat her garetuk rice cake alongside it. Accidentally, She dropped the garetuk into the bowl of jjajangmyeon and was pleasantly surprised by the enhanced taste. This inspired her to create a dish using garetuk and to start selling cheap red pepper paste instead of expensive chunjang black bean paste. This marked the beginning of the popular sindangdang tteokbokki. Sindangdang tteokbokki also includes ingredients like fish cake, cabbage, and jjomyeon, which were not typically consumed by the royal class. Another assumption is that a grandmother, who came to be known as the tteokbokki grandma, started selling rice cake dipped in gochujang and fried in oil, which became the origin of gochujang tteokbokki. In other words, gochujang tteokbokki, the spicy version, emerged during the Korean War. However, it is important to note that the influence of the USA also played a role in making tteokbokki more affordable. Actually, the main ingredient of tteokbokki is rice. However, nowadays tteokbokki rice cakes are made from wheat flour. But why is that? This change originated from the flour aid provided by the USA during the 1950s. Until the 1950s, rice was the staple food in Korea. However, due to the devastating state of the Korean economy caused by the Korean War and Japanese colonial period, it became extremely difficult to cultivate sufficient rice. As a result, Korea had to rely on aid from the USA for its survival and food supply. During this time, large quantities of American flour and wheat started to enter the country. However, this aid was not without its challenges for the Korean economy. There were instances where the aid of farm groceries exceeded the actual shortage, leading to a sharp decline in grain prices and the devastation of the farming economy. To address the issue of flour, the Korean government implemented control policies for rice and promoted the consumption of flour. He prohibited the sale of rice-based dishes in restaurants and adult entertainment establishments. And civil servants working at the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry were required to have bread and milk for lunch. The government even promoted the consumption of bread and milk among students, claiming that relying solely on rice was not good for health. These government policies led to tteokbokki made with flour becoming a beloved national dish. However, in contemporary times, tteokbokki has gained even more popularity. Particularly among the younger generation, known as the MZ generation, tteokbokki has become a comfort food. This is evidenced by the fact that tteokbokki sales have increased by an average of 430% annually over the past 3 years. Notably, women show a preference for tteokbokki compared to men. One of the main reasons is related to hormones. Before menstruation, the female body experiences a rise in female hormone levels, which disrupts the balance between serotonin, responsible for controlling emotions and sleep, and dopamine, which regulates motivation, happiness, and memory. Eating carbohydrates increases serotonin levels, while consuming spicy food boosts dopamine. Tteokbokki, being a spicy carbohydrate dish, fits perfectly into this pattern. Another significant characteristic of tteokbokki is that it becomes spicier over time. It's not just mildly spicy, it's incredibly hot. The next day, everyday life becomes so spicy that it feels unbearable. This demonstrates that tteokbokki is not just about taste. Currently, for Koreans, tteokbokki represents a collective culture that fosters a sense of unity and relieves stress beyond its taste. Most Korean tteokbokki servings are now meant for 3 to 4 people to enjoy together. Young people endure the spiciness while eating tteokbokki together, creating a sense of unity and pleasure. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to click the subscribe and the like button.